channel. Today's video is going to be on 2 looks using the ANASTASIA Soft Glam palette. I did a daytime wearable makeup look and a nighttime makeup look, and I kind of show you guys what I would typically do if I was wearing makeup during the day for work or school and then going out for drinks after. I show you guys how I would touch up my makeup. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. To start by priming my face with my RIMMEL Stay Matte Primer. I'm just going to go into foundation, and I'm using the Marc Jacobs Shameless in medium Y340. So moving on to concealer, I've been using this Instant Age Rewind. Now I'm just going to set everything with my Too Faced Born This Way setting powder. Just putting that translucent powder everywhere that I put the concealer, including up onto my eyelids. And moving on to bronzer, I'm just going to use my SOLEIL Tan de Chanel cream bronzer. I'm just taking it on a flat top kabuki brush, and I'm going to just start patting this into my cheekbones and my temples. I started using this bronzer again and I forgot how much I love it, especially the way it smells. Like, the color is beautiful and it blends out like a dream, but I just love the smell of it too. And for blush, you already know, Tarte Party Blush. I'm definitely going to have to buy another one soon. Once I sweep the blush across my cheeks, then whatever's left over, I'll just lightly tap over the bridge of my nose and on my chin, just to give like a nice rosy appearance. I think it's really pretty for winter especially. Even in the summer, honestly, it's pretty all year round, because in the winter you have like that nice rosy blushed look, and in the summer it looks kind of like you have a little sunburn. So for highlight today, I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter. This is in Mean Money and Hustler Baby. And this is how I will keep it for a daytime look, like if you're going to work or something like that. I like to keep the base pretty light and fresh, not too crazy contoured up or like a blinding highlight. I like to keep it pretty smooth and seamless and soft. This is like the amount of coverage that I personally am comfortable with for daytime. Like, you can still see some blemish scars showing through, and I feel like being somebody who has freckles, you're used to like seeing like little spots all over your face, so like any blemish scars or anything like that, it's not a big deal for me if it shows through. I just leave it. Okay, so now going into my Soft Glam palette. It's already looking pretty beat up, guys. I'm going to keep this day look pretty light and pretty simple, just because it's usually for like work or school. Sometimes you don't have a lot of time in the morning. Well, I'm not a morning person, so I never have a lot of time in the morning. So the first shade I'm going to take, I didn't even say it, is Burnt Orange right down here. And I'm going to use this as my transition shade. Next, I'm going to switch to a smaller little crease brush, and I'm going to take Rustic right here. And I'm just going to put this right into the crease. I'm going to take Sienna right here, and I'm going to just place that on the outer V of my eye. I usually use my little dome brush for this step, but I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, like using minimal amount of shadows and minimal amount of brushes. So I'm just going to lightly feather this in the outer V right here. And make sure when you're blending in your outer V, whether you're putting color down or blending it out, you're always blending first towards the center of the eye, so that you're not blending outwards, because then you'll take it too far out. And when you have like very little product left over, then with a really light hand, I scoop my hand down to the end of the brush. Really light hand, I'll start to feather it outwards, just so it's like a nice smooth gradient. I'll also really lightly bring whatever color's left over into the crease. I'm not dipping back into the pan at all, just working with whatever I've already laid down onto the lid. And for the lid shade, I'm going to take Glistening right here. It's like a light gold shade, and I'm just going to use my finger to apply it. Kind of hard with nails, but we're doing it. And I'm just bringing it about halfway. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. I'm going to take that same little crease brush that I was using to put on Sienna. I'm not going back into the pan or anything, but just use that to really lightly blend right here, right into the crease, in case there's like a harsh line. So you can leave it like this, or if you're not a fan of like the bright gold, yellow gold for a daytime look, you can take a little bit of tempera with your finger as well, and just really lightly tap over that lid shade. It's like a really nice soft effect. It's not overly shimmery, it's not overly too gold, it's just like a pale, creamy color. Just really like softens the lid shade and Doesn't make it such a like a bright stark gold if you're not into that. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't, but you never know. If it's for work or something, you might not want that super yellow gold color on your lid. Who knows? Depends on where you work. Take a little bit more of sienna on that same brush and just kind of intensify it at the outer corner. Maybe bring it a little bit into the crease. And for the lower lash line, I'm taking that same little crease brush and I'm going to use that just to get right underneath. I'm going to look up, try not to poke myself, and just run the brush back and forth with whatever products already just left over. So just going in with some mascara now. When I know I'm going out at night after and I'm going to touch up my makeup and add a little to the look, I don't do a winged liner, nor do I do falsies. So I'll just go in with some mascara. Put as many coats as you want. I almost forgot the inner corner highlight, and I'm going to take tempera on a tiny little detailing brush like this, and I'll just pack that in. So for lips, I'm just lining them with MAC WHIRL. And what's great about this look, you can pair it with any lip that you want. You can do a nude lip, you can do a red lip, you can do a bold, vampy lip, doesn't matter. But today, instead of doing a nude, because I'm always doing nudes, I'm going to switch it up and use my Ofra. I don't see like a shade name in here anywhere. It's just like a nice pink color, not overly pink. Okay, and now I'm just curling these lashes. And then I just use my nail to like separate them if they get all crazy in the curling process. And that's it for the daytime look, guys. I hope it was simple enough. I hope it wasn't too complicated because I feel like the last few looks I've done are super glammed and like take a lot more steps and a lot more different colors. So I tried to put together something that was like quick, simple, but still very polished and pretty. Okay, so now I'm back. Pretend I just went to work and I came home and I'm ready to go out for our dinner in like 2 hours, and I don't want to spend 2 hours getting ready. I really want to chill for an hour and then maybe spend 30 minutes getting ready. So what I'll do is go home, take a makeup wipe like this, and the first thing I'll do is take off my lip color. If I have the time, then I will wipe my whole face. I'll just do my face and my lips, but I'll leave my like mascara and my brows intact, but I'll take off my eyeshadow too, let my skin breathe for an hour or whatever, put on my moisturizer again, and then when it's time for me to get ready to go out, then I'll redo my base, just because I have oily skin and you know I've been like sweating all day in my makeup or getting oily, and to just like put powder over it isn't ideal for me, but I'm guilty. I've definitely done it when I'm lazy and I'm in a rush. I'm just going to take the makeup wipe, leaving my mascara alone. So I just stick my finger underneath like this, and I'll just start to clean up the eyeshadow, and I try not to mess with the mascara. It's not a big deal if you do. I like to leave the mascara untouched because taking off mascara sometimes takes a while and can get really messy, and you'll for sure mess up your concealer underneath. So I like to just leave my mascara be. Okay, so now that I've cleaned up my eyelids, it doesn't have to be completely perfect, but I don't want to mess up my concealer and my foundation around it too much. I'm going to go back in with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I'm going to re-prime these lids. So it's fine if you don't do a perfect job like cleaning up the eyeshadow. This concealer over top will kind of cover that anyways. And then when I get out to this edge, then I'll kind of just tap lightly, just so that it blends in smoothly with the rest of my face. I'm just going to set everything with tempera. So if you don't have the time to remove your base, then I would just suggest taking some oil blotters or even tissue, blotting any excess oil you might have, and then going over everything with a light layer of translucent powder, touch up your bronzer, your blush, whatever may have faded throughout the day. Taking that same little transition crease brush that I always use, I'm going to take Dusty Rose. And if it looks a touch patchy right here on me, it's because it is. I'm not even going to front. It's because I have some dry patches there when I was using these makeup wipes that irritated my skin the other day, and the shadow just doesn't like sit as nicely over top. So now that I've built up Dusty Rose, I'm going to take a smaller crease brush and I'm going to take Mulberry here and mix it in with Dusty Rose. Just go back and forth. And I'm going to put this into my crease slightly below Dusty Rose. So I want this color to really show up, but I also want Dusty Rose to be able to peek through from behind it. So I like to go just a touch lower than where I put Dusty Rose. So now I'm just going to take that same crease brush that I was using for mulberry in my daytime look. I'm going to take mulberry again on its own, and I'm going to concentrate this right into the crease. Okay, now I'm just going to take that same concealer on a little concealer brush, and I'm going to cut the crease. And if you're somebody who has trouble with cut creases, honestly, just like anything else, just keep practicing, keep working at it, and you'll get better. Like I can tell you, even in the last 2 months that I've started YouTube and doing cut creases more and more often, my cut crease has gotten so much better, so much faster. So it just takes practice and knowing your eye shape, and just even down to the brush and the concealer, like the consistency of the concealer, you'll be able to find out what works best for you. So lately I've been really liking using this little lip brush. Just take the tip of this brush and I'll start at the inner corner, like right here. I'll push in a little bit so I can feel where my crease is, and then I'll just do like a quick swoop. Like I'll dig the tip of the brush right into the crease and then just like follow the natural shape of my crease. So what I'm going to do now is take tempera first, and I'm going to put that at the very first like inner third of my eye. So right here. Nice little pressing motion. Okay, using that same brush, I'm going to flip it over to the side that I haven't used yet, and I'm going to dip into Dusty Rose and Tempera, like mix these two together, and I'm going to place this in the center of the lid, just so it's like a nice light, almost like a dusty lilac color. I'm going to take Tempera again, and I'll just really lightly marry these two colors together. So I'm actually having a hard time getting like a consistent color when I'm mixing Dusty Rose and Tempera, which is kind of odd. So what I'm going to do for the other eye is I'm going to take Tempera across the whole lid, and then I'll just put the Dusty Rose on top in the middle. I'm just going to take a little bit more concealer, and I'm just going to go over it again. These things happen, guys. These things happen. I'm just going to leave this clip in the video so you guys can see that if you like mess up during your cut crease or anything like that, you can always just take a little bit more concealer and clean it up and start over. I'm going to take a breather, and I'm going to come back to it. So I'm going to finish the outer V, and I'm going to take Mulberry once again on a small little crease brush. Just placing the color first and then start to blend it out. And to finish off the lower lash line, I'm going to take Mulberry right here. I have it on a pencil brush like this, and I'm going to run this right up against the lash line. This time I'm going to go more bold than the daytime look. Everybody does their wing different. I'm not about to show you how I do my wing. My wing turns out different every single time. So here we go. For lashes, I'm going to go with these, like wispy pair. I've been wearing them in like my last 3 videos. Okay, and since this is an evening look, I'm going to go for that like blinding highlight. And I'm using my Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks. It's broken, can't show you, but it's in the color beige. And for lips, I'm just going in with my Kat Von D lipstick in Lovecraft. It's like a muted pink. Alright guys, that completes the nighttime look. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Do you like the daytime makeup look? Do you like the nighttime makeup look? Let me know. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in my next video.